Hello, Merry Meet. This is Lady Hawk Owl. This is a relatively new YouTube channel for me. I realized I should have introduced myself before I posted my poem video, but I am introducing myself now. So, like I said, this is a relatively new channel. I guess I decided to make this channel to communicate more with pagans, because I'm a very solitary person, and I have absolutely no training, or no real, contact with other pagans in terms of the ceremonial sense. I say that because I feel like I have once or twice crossed pagans throughout my life, consciously. They have said so. They were very open about it. But I also feel there were a couple of other times where I've crossed pagans, and they didn't necessarily say so, because pagans aren't always open about their religion to everyone. So, anyway. But I am looking for more, not necessarily coven experience, but more group experience. And I would love to experience like a wide circle and a ceremony, and that would be fun. I love being solitary. I love doing magic and things on my own time, but that would be fun. So anyway, so what kind of pagan am I? I am, so I've been studying paganism and witchcraft for about a year and 2 months. And, I know that's like absolutely nothing compared to a lot of people. I have a long way to go. But so far, I am following a Celtic path, a polytheistic path. I will probably explain why I'm Celtic and why I'm polytheistic in separate videos. I do have good reasons. So I'm a Celtic polytheistic pagan, trying out witchcraft. Sorry, my cat's trying to get into my room. The door is closed. There he comes. There he is. He might come into my bed. Yeah, anyway, yeah. And I'm also trying to practice Druidry. Study it, read books about it. I'm also, taking a glance at other faiths and other pantheons. I have a Celtic pantheon, as you guessed. I'm very comfortable with it. I feel very connected to several of the deities in that pantheon. Well, a couple or a few, but I have a general connection to several of them. I'm very comfortable in this pantheon. I do like to explore different paths, but like I said, Druidry, Celtic, witchcraft seem very my style. Yeah, I might as well explain now why I'm Celtic. The main reason why I'm really Celtic is because most of my life I've been obsessed with anything Celtic music, Celtic culture, heritage, myth. I just love all things Celtic symbols, everything you can think of Celtic. Celtic flute especially, obviously, because if you don't know this, I'm actually a flutist and a musician. And yeah. So a little bit more about my outside life. I'm a musician. I got my bachelor's in music performance and a minor in writing. I'm 23. I live in Long Island. I love nature. That's kind of, I guess, part of the pagan thing. But, I've always loved nature. I still, like I said, mostly a flutist. But, I'm trying to write my own music, which is not as easy as it looks, especially if you're not experienced. But that's okay. I enjoy it anyway. And I sing. I love to sing. I love to write. I go through phases when I write, like types of writing, and it's usually on a on a basis of several years, which is kind of weird, I know, but, so my current phase is poetry, hence the poetry video that was posted. Sorry, I keep playing with my hair, it's annoying. Yeah, that's it for now. Yeah. So anyway, what else should I tell you? I feel like I should be telling you something that I can't think of. I don't know. Oh, I guess I should explain why I got into paganism. The thing is that this is kind of tricky because I don't really have an answer. It's sort of just one day I was thinking about, actually I think it started with, thinking about this girl I met the year before who was Wiccan. She was very open about it. She was very comfortable with being Wiccan. At the time, I was Christian. Catholic. I was Catholic, but I don't know why I keep saying Christian. I was a Roman Catholic. I was raised a Roman Catholic. And, so this girl, I encountered her over the summer in a music program. And I thought she was interesting. She was really talented, wonderful flutist. But actually, when she told me and like the people around me that she was Wiccan, I was like, what is that? And I guess I started researching it shortly afterwards. Now, at this time, I was I had a very, I guess, ignorant mindset about it. I didn't think she was evil. She didn't seem evil at all. I did, however, assume that Wiccan meant some sort of bad force and some sort of unholy thing. And at the time I was kind of a purist. I mean, I still am a little bit, but not in that sense anymore. Not in the religious sense. I mean, I went to a Catholic all-girls school. Well, a Catholic school. I had Catholic school experience, I should say, for several years of my youth. And that kind of got driven into me. You know, the theology and stuff. And, you know, I think theology is interesting, but the way... I mean, I really became a believer of God, of the Catholic God. And I guess one major difference, and I know I'm scrambling conversations, and I apologize, but I'm trying to go on my stream of thoughts here. I guess one major difference was that I kept wanting to feel a connection with the Catholic God, Christian Catholic God, and I couldn't. I kept wanting to reach out to him, to feel like he's a part of my life, and I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. Now, just because I went to Catholic school doesn't mean I had, like, a hardcore Catholic Christian upbringing. Like, I've noticed that actually a lot of current pagans did. I hear their stories, and they do talk about very strict Christian upbringings, and that wasn't me. You know, I had a moderate Christian upbringing, I guess, but especially later on, it kind of dimmed out. Anyway. So I think the main reason I entered this spirituality is because I was looking for something spiritual. I was looking for something to fill a hole. And, it wasn't in a rebellious sense, if you know what I mean. It wasn't trying to speak out against whatever. It was something genuine that I felt. So back to this Wiccan girl. So anyway, like I said, at the time I felt very kind of purist about the whole thing. And then later on, over the months, I started thinking about, I was like, and I actually researched the religion. So it's all about the idea of balance, God and Goddess. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then I got more and more research under my belt. And then one day, last January of 2014, I kind of just started sitting down and genuinely starting to explore witchcraft and some pagan basics. And that's where it started. I feel really called to this path because, well, one reason is that I've always been drawn to nature my entire life. Especially certain parts of nature. I always love forests, woods, streams, anything natural. I was always an animal advocate, stuff like that. And I always felt particularly drawn to certain aspects of nature. For some reason, I always had a really huge pull to pine trees. I always felt very something like spiritually in tune with pine tree. I didn't really think of it that way, but now that I'm more of trying to be a spiritual thinker anyway, I think of it as a connection. And I might also point out that I think I'm also in a Celtic faith. Because Celts really love their trees. They feel very strongly connected to them, kind of like they were even family. They used Olm, which is a tree alphabet. Trees are a huge part of their life. They really, really, they love their trees to death. I not only always felt pulled to nature, I always felt especially pulled to trees. And I always felt the sense of trees watching over me. And I didn't think of them as having spirits necessarily back in the day, but I thought of them as having a presence that went beyond their roots and their growing branches, that's something we couldn't see. I always felt like they had eyes on us. I don't mean to make that sound creepy. Like they were watching over the earth and the people. And yeah, so I guess that's also why I got pulled to Celtic. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, so that's basically my background. I know it was a little lengthy and discoordinated. But yeah, so that's about it. So, a little bit on what I'm hoping to do with this channel. I'm hoping to, I guess like other people, pagans, put some pagan basic ideas, mixing what I've researched with what I felt personally. Because in the beginning I was doing a lot of research and just looking up stuff and correspondences, etc. And it's only recently that I've actually put in the trouble of finding the personal connections, finding how I feel, not just what someone else says. So, yeah. I think one of my next videos is going to be a bit about stones. Recently I've really gotten into stones, so. And I also hope to post more poetry. More my reciting some poetry that I wrote. And maybe some druid poetry. And I also hope to post some pagan song covers. And in the long run, hopefully, I will have some songs of my own up here and some maybe flute tunes and things like that. And whatever other Michigan comes up. So once again, my name is Lady Hawkowl. Merry meet to all of you. It's lovely to see you all here on YouTube, and it's lovely to connect with all of you. I will be around. Okay, good night and merry part.